I use Nearpod because it allows me to choose student pace lesson. This differentiates the material and allows students to go at their own pace anonymously. So if a student needs to go slower, they can without any focus on that skill. And I also focused on Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills for Science, 8th grade, Strand 12, which reads Organisms and Environments. The students understand stability and change in populations and ecosystem. The student is expected to. I went to Focus C, describe how biodiversity contributes to the stability and sustainability of an ecosystem and the health of organisms within the ecosystem.
So our daily agenda for our lesson is a student-based lesson. I'm going to turn the student pace on. What that means is that you can move into the Nearpod at your pace. You do not have to wait for me. We have a learning objective for this lesson. After this lesson, you will be able to explain the relationship between the predator and its prey. First, we're going to start with instruction, followed by discussion questions. We're going to analyze the graph, and then we're going to have, it's for your exit ticket, we're going to have what's called a time to climb. And then the early finishes task, because if I have early finishes, I want you to go on, and I have some enrichment for you. Okay? All right, let's get started. So you have the predator and prey relationship. Populations of animals are often limited by the amount of food that is available in their ecosystem. We learned all about this in our last lesson. Animals that eat other animals are called predators. The animals that predators eat are called prey. In the image, which animal is the predator? Levi, can you tell us which animal is the predator? Yes, that would be the cat. And in this case, the cat is a wild lynx, and it is eating a rabbit as its prey. So looking at rabbits, how many rabbits can an ecosystem sustain? Remember, we talked about this in our last lesson. What determines how many animals can live in an ecosystem? Let's see. Elijah, can you tell us? Good job, Elijah. That is correct. Animals or rabbits would be limited by the amount of food, water, and space in their ecosystem. All right, so back when we saw the lynx eats rabbits, do the rabbits need the lynx? I mean, after all, the lynx is killing them, right? It's eating them. So do the rabbits need the lynx? Blaze, give us an answer to that. Yes, Blaze. The rabbits do need the lynx. And why? Because, well, the rabbits, if they didn't have someone that was taking some of them out, by eating them, they would multiply so much, and there'd be so many that there wouldn't be enough space, there wouldn't be enough food or enough water. So yes, the rabbits do need the lynx. Okay, well, let's look closely at the lynx. How many lynx can an ecosystem sustain? Brianna, tell us, how many lynx can an ecosystem sustain? That is correct. Good job. The lynx, the lynx is limited by how much water, food, and space is available in their ecosystem, just like the rabbits. Now, I'm going to ask you this. Do the lynx need the rabbits? Gage, can you answer that for us? Do the lynx need the rabbits? Yes, they do, Gage. You're right, because the rabbits are food for the lynx. Okay, so let's analyze this a little closer. Okay, so in the predator-prey graph, which this is the predator-prey graph, there are always more prey than predators. And the prey always increase in population before the predators. Okay, so let's see, back in our with our learning target, explain the relationship between the predator and its prey. So that's what we're doing right here. We are looking very closely at this relationship and we're graphing it, okay? So the title of our graph is predator versus prey. On the y-axis, we have the population rising over time, which is on the x-axis. Okay, the key lets us know that the prey, that would be the rabbits in this case, is represented by a solid line, and the predator, which is the lynx in this case, is represented by the dashed line. So here we are. The rabbits are multiplying. There are more of them. Their population is growing over time, and it reaches a peak. Why does it reach a peak? It reaches a peak because the lynx are hunting the rabbits. And so the more rabbits they have, the more lynx we can have. But then the more lynx we have, the fewer rabbits we're going to have. But that's a good thing because there's only so much space, there's only so much water, and there's only so much food. So the lynx keep the rabbits in check as far as their population, and the rabbits keep the lynx in check as far as their population. So the lynx and the rabbits are directly related. Okay, so let's look. The peak for the predator population always comes after the peak for the prey population. Why do you think this happens? Let's look at Kylie. Kylie, tell us why this happens. That is correct. The reason why the lynx population always follows the rabbits is because the rabbits are prey for the lynx. So as the rabbits increase, the lynx increase. But when the lynx get to be enough to where they're eating enough rabbits, the rabbits will start to fall. Well, when the rabbit population falls, it's not as much food for the lynx. So they do, in fact, need each other. So to explain the relationship between the predator and its prey would mean that the predator needs the prey for food, and the prey needs the predator to eat it so that it doesn't have so many that it won't have enough food or water or space. So let's think and reflect. And we're going to do this by engaging in this time to climb game.
Time to Climb is a super competitive game that encourages the kids to compete against each other, see who can get the most correct. At times, I'll offer prizes to the ones who get the most correct. It has lots of music. The kids love it. Super engaging. Early finishers are offered a little bit more in depth in the same topic, which includes a couple of more slides on population density, and more in depth formative assessment is also added to access individual needs of all students. Early Finishers Exit Ticket is specifically targeted toward their enrichment. It's the same learning target as the original learning target, just more in depth. And this is to meet their individual learning needs.
Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow, guys.